The following letter is from a real person seeking advice from an advice columnist. I'm going to read their letter, read the advisor's advice, and then I will give my take. Okay. I'm Dear John, and let's get into it. So it says here, Dear Abby, I'm frustrated with my husband. We've been together for 18 years. When it gets close to my menstrual cycle, he gets into an angry panic for us to be intimate because he travels for work and is home only 4 nights a week. If we're not able to, he pouts, then becomes angry and distant, and peppers me for updates to determine how soon we can resume intimacy. Regardless of how I feel at my time of the month, my feelings are ignored. He claims I don't make time for him, even though he's out most evenings volunteering and doesn't return until after 11 p.m. My day starts at 6:30 a.m., and I can't stay up that late and function the next day. Is it right for him to be angry with me over something my body does naturally? Is it my duty to make sure he's satisfied before my cycle comes? Signed, Blamed in Canada. So let's go right to Abby's response. She's, very successful. God rest her soul. I don't know. I'm not sure if she's still with us, but nice lady. Anyways, Dear Blamed, you appear to be married to an ignorant bully. It is not right for your husband to be angry over something your body does naturally. Is it your duty to make sure he is satisfied, whether you are tired or concerned about an early wake up call, even if he makes a habit of being out of the house until nearly midnight? I don't think so. If this is your husband's method of foreplay, he could use some lessons. Ha. This is why I strongly suggest the two of you hash this out and reach a compromise with the help of a licensed marriage and family therapist. P.S. Sex and marriage is supposed to be consensual, a loving act of communication, not submission to domination. Okay, so here's my take on the response here. I'll tell you what I agree with, partially, suggesting that the two of them compromise. Well, not partially. That part I do agree with. They should compromise. With the help of a licensed marriage and family therapist, I don't know. Not everybody wants to do that. Nobody has time to do that. Maybe people, it's not covered under their insurance. If they have it, they don't have the money, blah, 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 blah. People should be able to compromise on their own. But in order to compromise, you have to want to. Okay. You got to be down with the whole situation, the whole marriage and everything. P.S. here, let's see. Sex and marriage is supposed to be consensual. Yes, obviously, 100%. A loving act of communication. Okay. I don't know. I guess, but sex isn't just about communication. Okay, it is a physical imperative. Okay, biological imperative they call it from both sexes. Not submission to domination. I do agree with that. Although naturally men are dominant, women are naturally submissive, generally speaking. But then when you get into role playing and stuff like that, those roles can get mixed up, and some women are dominant, some men are submissive. There's plenty of that. But overall, men are dominant, women are submissive. Now, if they've been married for 18 years, as it says, or as it reads, that's a different story. They didn't just meet. There's no mention of children here, which plays into this. So I'll tell you, if this was somebody I know, if this was somebody I knew, you obviously can't do anything about when your menstrual cycle is. So those days are out of it's not going to happen those days. I think most men would have no problem with that. He gets to an angry panic for us to be intimate because he travels for work and is home only 4 nights a week. Now this is where the husband has to this is the compromise part. If there is something that you want and you're gone 3 nights a week, that means it's got to happen one of those 4 nights, and it's got to happen when the missus is not menstruating. Okay, that's the part to work out. If we're not able to, he pouts, then becomes angry and distant, and peppers me for updates to determine how soon we can resume intimacy. This is the part women, maybe younger women, are not aware of. The sexual drive of a man is very powerful. Okay, it's very tough to deal with. As soon as you enter puberty, it's all you think about. It's all you want. Okay. Now it changes for everybody. Some people are super randy and active was till the day they die. Some guys lose it when they have kids or everybody's different. But the urge is ridiculously powerful. So something's got to be done. Either he takes care of it himself, or you guys figure out how. You might want to just tell him that, like, dude, you got to find some alone time then, okay, to stem the tide, if you will. So the next part has, regardless how I feel at my time of the month, my feelings are ignored. That is a different conversation. You should not ignore your mate's feelings or your spouse's feelings ever, because you're in it together, especially after all this time. He claims I don't make time for him, which is in quotes, and which means that he's talking about the sex part. Well, he can't really say that, but it's a two-way street. If you know he's in town and it is that time of the month, that is not the only way to be intimate, as we all know. That's where the compromise part comes in. He wants you. I mean, can you imagine how many of these letters are, my husband doesn't want me anymore? Okay. I mean, you know, sometimes you can't win, I guess. But everybody's so different now. Everybody has all these ideas. This is the part where you've got to hash it out. Even though he's out most evenings volunteering and doesn't return until after 11 p.m. Okay, I don't know. Who's volunteering in Canada till after 11 p.m.? Not sure. So he's out 3 days. When I work out of town, when I get home, I don't want to be anywhere but at the house. So I'm not sure maybe this part is, fictional. Who knows? But let's assume it's true. That is where the husband will have to compromise, not just because you have to get up early. But hey man, if you want to have fun, get your ass home. Or let's have some alone time before you go and quote unquote volunteer. Who knows what that is? And I get it. She can't stay up late and function the next day. Well, sometimes the time, when something's important, you make time for it, which is why they should both be compromising. Okay. If you want to do something, you find a way. If you don't want to do something, you find an excuse. Okay. So this is two-way street for both of them. Is it right for him to be angry over something that happens naturally? Of course not. 1000% no. Is it my duty to make sure he's satisfied before my cycle comes? Well, maybe not necessarily before your cycle comes, but I think any married couple have a lot of responsibilities to each other. And depending on your particular relationship, you've got to understand who you're with and who you're married to. And you should have determined that 18 years ago. All right. Because if this guy can't keep his hands off of you and he loves you so much and all that stuff, you got to hash all that out and find a way for him to not go out there, uh, you know, loaded for bear, let's say. So that's my take on it. This is Dear John. Please let me know what you think. Am I nuts? Am I crazy? I think both of them should make some concessions here so that everyone can be happy and nobody's feelings have to be trampled on. But the last thing I will say is if the guy is still very active, so being very randy, it's like being very hungry. It's like having a terrible itch on your back that won't go away. It's hard to deal with when a guy is very much in the mood. It's hard for him to deal with. Okay, so there's plenty of room for both of you to grow here and figure out how to make sure everybody stays happy so that you can have another 18 years and beyond. Okay. Well, that's it for Dear John today. Please subscribe if you like this, but most of all, please comment. Let me know if I sound like I'm nuts or if this is news to you. I know a lot of times advice people, they don't give you the straight story on male sexuality. It is largely ignored in the public arena. So anyway, let's comment. Love to hear from you, and we'll talk to you soon. That's it for Dear John. Have a nice day. Bye bye.